Well, listen, it's been probably 20 years that I've been in amongst the Munster camp, but I got a message in the week just to say, are you around? Would it be possible to come and see the boys? I know they've been in and out over the years, but life takes you in different directions, and it was nice that they put a hand out and said, would you mind coming around? So I said, I'll come to the training session and let's see what happens. So it wasn't I had a great couple of years, come 97, 98, coming into the fray with the Sharks, and then I played in the Super 12, it was around 99, 2000, and then the trajectory was pretty good. I went into the Springboks in 2001, and I played 4 tests, got injured, did my ACL, so it wasn't perfect timing. But my rugby career has never been a perfect journey. It's been down, 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 up, so we took it on the chin. Coming back into the Sharks after that, there was a change in coaches, it was getting back into the fray. It wasn't the easiest transition. I did manage to get back into the Springbok squad 2003. It was the Argentinian test. And then again, change of coaches, maybe a clash of personalities, and an opportunity to come to Munster. It also wasn't the perfect transition, because there was a change in coaching. When I got over there, Declan Kidney was the coach, and who I had signed for had just left. So it was getting to know each other. I remember sitting with Declan and him saying, tell me about yourself, and I was like, are you joking? So we found out about each other then, and I kind of found out about the Munster environment. I mean, I was Cork, there was the Cork-Limerick split, and worked wonderfully well. It was low-key, but high-key when it came to the Heineken Cup. And I mean, an immense lift of the whole community, and just everything about Cork and Limerick and the Munster region. Geez, a thrilling time for me anyway. It was a whirlwind because you go to Munster there in Cork, and we train in the club amenities, and I'd come from where we train at the main stadium constantly, and I thought, I'm not sure exactly what I've done here. And then it was the Magnus League, I think, back then, and it was club level. All the internationals were away, and I thought, okay, well, this is what I'm in for. And then you build into it, which was quite nice. You build into the life there. You settle in. I did pre-season without the internationals. I only got introduced to them come into the season. And by that time, you'd made your friends on the base players in your region, and then the main oaks came through. The main guys, sorry, it's an Afrikaans thing, and and then you build into the Heineken, and when that Heineken buzz starts, and that was when I realised, okay, there's 2 different sections to this rugby league, and the step up was immense, and then obviously going through to the final and winning just capped it off. I remember getting some negative feedback as well, to say he performs well in the Heineken Cup, but it was quite difficult to pick up for the smaller games. I like the pressure, I like the main games. Although, your local league is great, but there's nothing that can compare to when we got to those conditions. And I suppose when I look back now, I could have been better at times, but for the Heineken Cup, I'm glad I pitched up and made an impact at least. I often tell people about that occasion. Probably it is definitely the highlight of my career, that and obviously my first caps for the Springboks and that. But I remember we played the game. We don't stay over, so we flew back, and we landed in Limerick, and then we bussed back. And on the drive back, it must have been 2 in the morning, and you drive along those dark roads, and then the lights would pick up a flag, and there'd be a father and son on the road waiting for the bus to come past. It was, I couldn't believe that. That's the heart that was involved. So I took a hell of a lot out of that. Amazing. We always got a good turnout. That little stadium, that Musgrave Park, was packed. And I actually saw highlights of the game well, it was a live game the other day but I don't know if they've upgraded it. It looks a little bit better than it was when I was there. But definitely Thomond has massively grown. I mean, it's spectacular now. And but there was always a great vibe. That's something about the supporters of Munster Rugby. They are next level. You've got to go arriving at Millennium Stadium. You've got to go running on to the field. I scored a try. It wasn't a magical try, but it was a magical try. If you know, it happened so quickly, and then the game just went well. I remember the celebrations of the guys after the game, the depth of their passion, because I know they'd been in the struggle for a long time, and I appreciated that. And then, I mean, that was the major. Then, obviously, the quarters. It was semis. We played Leinster at Lansdowne last time. I think it was at that stadium. Then they did the revamp, so that was quite special. And yeah, the quarterfinals. Again, a game that we went into. Maybe I didn't know the enormity of it, but the vibe was so intense, and we picked up 1 or 2 injuries right in the beginning of the game. So your game structure was so different. So it was just a panic the whole game, and I just remember just running like all over the place, just making sure you're covering, because it is different when you lose a first line player, and getting through that, and then realizing the current now pushing you through to the semis and finals, and that's what I really enjoyed about 2006, that season.